Good morning, everybody. It is morning still, right? 11 o'clock. What's up? This is Chris on IMTN Worldwide Radio, and this is Around the ATL, the last day of 2024. I was not going to do a show today, but kind of got pushed into it. I'll get into that in a little bit, but let's do this real quick. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page. You can see it scrolling down there at the bottom. Please do that. I really would appreciate the support going into the new year. You can also follow on Facebook and Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Radio. You can follow myself on Twitter, Intellect ATL, and my co-host, Jordan Jackson at Jordan23 ATL. We are now on Twitch. It should be working. It should be broadcasting right now. I don't know, but I'm not on there just yet, but it's on there. IMTN Worldwide Radio. So if you're on Twitch, go follow that, share it. And of course, last but not least, make sure that you do go and visit, if I can find it, Southern Classic Transportation. That's the show sponsor for today. They are in Atlanta. This will be a perfect day to use them. If you're going to go out, you need to be driven somewhere and then driven back, so that way you don't have to worry about anything and do it in style. Call this limo service. They're great. 404-291-0150. Make sure you let them know that Around the ATL sent you. Visit southernClassicLimo.com. You see that at the bottom. Make sure you do that. That's a very, very good service. They take you everywhere. They take you out of state too, by the way. If you were going to go, well, it's kind of late to go to New York now. But if you had wanted to go all the way to New York, you can get to Miami. You want to go New Year's in Miami. But anyway, make sure you hit up Southern. And last but not least, obviously, if you do know someone who needs some photos for the new year, they don't want to wait till 2027 to take pictures, make sure you can visit imtnworldwideimages.com. I recently did a maternity photo shoot. I think I only have one picture. There's one right there. Very nice couple. That's their fourth child on the way. Very nice family. I've known them for a while. I was there for their first kid and the third, and now they're fourth. So that's pretty cool. So again, make sure you visit imtnworldwideimages.com. I'll probably post that near the end of the show again. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about blaming Trae Young for every blasted thing that happens. Everything is Trae Young's fault. I was accused of glossing over Trae's mistakes and errors. Okay? And that's why I'm doing this show. The reason I'm also I'm reiterating the reason I'm even I started doing these game reviews a few months ago was the fact that how could you keep blaming one player when it's 1-on-5 and he's not the reason we're losing the games? Yeah, he has mistakes, but are those mistakes actually losing games? Is his defense actually losing games? And so I said, well, let's find out. And when I do a review, I'm going through everything because there's more than one player on the team. So if in the first quarter, the first possession, someone other than Trae Young gives up a point, how come nobody says anything? And then if it continues throughout the whole game and you get to the end of the game and you say, okay, well, let's see who gave up the most points in this game, and it happens to be someone other than Trae Young, how come nobody says anything? So now are you glossing over that person game after game? You see what I'm saying? You can't really quantify how crazy this is right now, especially lately. Because, again, I don't know if anybody's been watching any games, but Trae Young ain't the reason we've lost any games lately, and he's definitely the reason we are winning games, I think, right? And I'll say this. The only way you would have a valid argument would be if Trae is averaging 10 points and 3 assists a game. Is he doing that? Has he ever averaged 10 points and 3 assists a game for his career? Ever? His lowest point total for his career is 19 for his career, okay? And he's been averaging 9 assists plus a game since he started in the NBA. So what are we really talking about by saying, oh, well, Trae this and Trae that, this is his fault? And I showed y'all 28 games he didn't even play in last year. How did you gloss over 28 games and gloss over, we're going to keep using that word, it's going to be a thing, gloss over all of these final scores that show we ain't stopped nobody in the wins or the losses, but especially the losses. 142 points, 136, 157, 150, all these different scores and all these different players who are balling out of control against the Hawks. How come you're not paying attention to any of those reasons of losing the games with Trae even on the floor? Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain it? Okay. So I'm using a particular game because I'm supposed to believe that 42 points is not bad, but 5 points is. 5 points are more than 42. 5 points are more important. 2 points because of a turnover and 3 missed free throws is worse than allowing one player to score 42 points. I'm supposed to believe that. So I'm going to show it to you. Because again, some people are only seeing is believing, right? What did Michael Jordan do in The Last Dance? I don't know how he did it, but you know what I'm saying. So Spurs versus Hawks. Why does this game matter? Again, I just mentioned it. People skip over the first, second, third, and fourth quarters of an NBA game to go straight to overtime and say, because of what happened in overtime and those 3 free throws, the whole game was lost when it should never even gotten to overtime in the first place. I'm going to show you that, okay? 42 points Wemby had in that game. Who guards Wemby? Wembyama? Who guards him? Does Trae Young guard Wemby? Let's start with that right there. We're going to go through this, but I need you to hear this live on Around the ATL. Whose responsibility is it to stop the center position? And not just the center position, the position that's hurting you the most. Okay. Now, again, Hawks were down 2. But by the way, and before I get started, again, I got to go through all this. In that particular instance where Trae had that turnover and they scored, the Hawks were actually down already by 2 points because of a 3 that Wemby ended up hitting, which put us down 5 points. So what happened with that 3? Who gave up the 3 before that? That hurt more. Sorry, it did. Okay. And I'm going to get through all this. I'm going to explain it. So let's just go ahead and get into it because I don't want to talk about that no more. Hawks lost this game 133 to 126 against the San Antonio Spurs. It was a winnable game for sure. The Spurs, I should say, I'll start with the Spurs, had 50 points in the paint. Okay, let me do this. I forgot. I hadn't done a show in a while, so let me catch up here. We're blaming Trae Young, and we're talking Spurs versus Hawks, okay? The Spurs had 50 points in the paint, which is not good, but we at least evened it out. And I'll get into that. By the way, I'll go ahead and do this. When I do my game reviews, okay, I use video to show you what happened, possession for possession, okay? But then I also show you the game results, okay? And I go through everything. I go through mainly, though, points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points, and 3-pointers given up, and percentage. Because those are the things really that hurts us the most, and those are the things that actually beat us. And then it's a matter of, okay, well, why did those things beat us? What was the result? How did it get to that result in the first place? So keep that in mind, okay? So Spurs had 50 points in the paint, 9 second chance points, and 26 fast break points. We want to talk about why San Antonio beat us that game? Those 26 fast break points hurt too. Did one player give up 26 fast break points? Did one player give up 50 points in the paint? What about everybody else that was responsible for all of those things? But I'm glossing over Trae's mistakes. He makes so many mistakes each game. It holds us back from winning. We are a few games over 500, aren't we? We are beating some pretty big, decent teams this year, right? With Trae Young on the team, right? Am I wrong or right? We lost 19 games last year at the end of December. We flipped the win total this year, though. But it's still blame Trae. Okay. All right. The Spurs hit 19 threes on 45% shooting. Is that Trae's fault too? Did Trae give up all the threes? Because that's what you're saying. That's what people are telling me. That's what people are going to try to convince me. I'm going to show you otherwise, though. Don't get mad. Okay. Wemby was 13 of 24 for 54% from the field, 5 of 7 from three, at 71% from three. Had 6 boards, 5 dimes, 2 steals, and 4 blocks for 42 points. Did Trae Young guard Wemby? Don't you think that somebody who is averaging 24 points should maybe have just scored 24 points instead of double that? But we're going to blame Trae. So I'm just supposed to gloss over giving up 54% from the floor, 71% from three from one player. Okay. Vassell was 9 of 16 from the floor. That's 56%. He hit 5 threes. He had 23 points. Sohan was 8 of 14 from the field, 57% for 20 points. That's interesting. So Trae guarded all 3 of those guys? For the Hawks, they had 54 points in the paint. 16 second chance points, 24 fast break points. They hit 16 threes for 42% from the floor. So we can say that the Hawks kind of evened out everything, but the players even out everything. And that's what you got to look at. Because here's what the Hawks did. Trae Young had 23 points, 16 assists, and 3 steals. What did I say? Did I say Trae Young had 10 points and 4 assists? 23 points, 16 assists. He was responsible for no less than 55 points, and that's just if all 16 assists were 2-pointers, when we know that's not true, right? So he was responsible for 55 points, but it's his fault he lost the game. He lost the game. He was responsible for 55 points, but the turnover and his 3 missed free throws is supposed to convince me it's his fault that he lost the game. You got to say this stuff out loud multiple times to see how ludicrous that sounds in real life. I'm not glossing over Trae's mistakes, but it's not the reason we lost the game. You see what I'm saying? You see what that means? It's different. Because every time I do a review, and if it's his fault, I say that. I call it out. All you got to do is look at any episode of Around the ATL forever. That was a dumb pass. That's Trae's fault. That's 2 points on Trae right there. You see what I'm saying? That was a bad pass right there. That was a bad decision. Trae didn't get back on his mat. Trae had his back turned. That's bad. But Trae ain't giving up 50 points a game, though. See, then that would be another argument. Even if Trae was giving us 55 points a game, if he was giving up 55 points a game, yeah, that would be his fault every time. But that's not happening, though. It's not nowhere near happening. Nowhere near happening. Hunter had 27 points in this game. JJ had 22. Zach had 9 points on 4-13 shooting. We just shrugged that off because he's a rookie, right? Just shrug it off. No big deal, right? Clint had 10. Dyson had 4. Nance had 21 on 8 of 13 shooting for 61%. 5 of 6 from 3, 83%. 13 boards. He had a great night on offense. Not so much on defense, though, y'all. Bogey had 10 points on 3 of 9 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3. Now, for both teams, overall, the Hawks shot 85% from the free throw line. The Spurs shot a little bit better from 3. They're even on field goal percentage overall. Hawks had more turnovers, 22. Did Trae Young have all the turnovers? JJ had 4 turnovers in that game, guys. Y'all know that? Did y'all know that? So he had one less turnover than Trae, but it's just Trae's fault, though. They were even on blocks and steals and assists. The Hawks had a few more rebounds. So again, what was the true reason for the loss? Because just by that, they were even on almost everything statistically. Okay. But again, people have skipped all 4 quarters, I should say, went straight to overtime and said that bad pass was the cause of the loss and him missing 3 free throws. We lost by 7 points. We lost by 7 in overtime, which again, you shouldn't even have went to overtime. I'm going to show you why. Dyson, by the way, went 2 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3 at 4 points. Again, we lost by 7. ZR was 1 of 4 from 3. He was 4 of 13 from the field. We lost by 7. Clint had 10, like I said. Vent was 0 of 4 from 3. He only took threes. He missed all of them. We lost by 7. Bogey was 2 of 7 from 3. We lost by 7. So just those guys right there, you're telling me that it's all Trae's fault. Trae was responsible for 55 points in the game, had 23 and 16. He passed the ball a whole heck of a lot. Want to know how I know that? Because I counted how many assists Trae had past the assists he actually had and how many points we left on the floor. So let's do that. First quarter, I'm going to show y'all some of these. Let me get over to that. I'm going to show y'all these. First quarter, Trae passes Zach, misses a 3, wide open. Passes it to ZR in the paint, gets blocked. It's 2 points right there. Vitt, wide open 3, he misses that. Nance in the paint, he gets blocked. That's the first quarter. So let's look at some of these real quick so I can show y'all what I'm talking about here. Zach, third quarter. Oh, shoot, did I not? Oh, here we go. First quarter.
For a big guy, it's unheard of.
Young in traffic. Somehow found Ricochet, who was way off. He struggled shooting this season. Here comes Chris Paul.
Second quarter, Bogey, wide open 3.
Check. Eggs in the morning, check.
Third quarter, Dyson 3.
Overall, but the last 9 games, the 8th best defensive rating in the NBA. The Atlanta Hawks. Dyson Daniels missed his first 3, can't hit the second. Here's Barnes.
Now, those are all misses. In the third quarter, besides that 3 from Dyson I just showed you, JJ missed a wide open bucket. Zach missed another 3, and then ZR got blocked. So in 4 quarters, off of 9 passes, we left 23 points on the board. Trae had 16 assists, but what if those guys hit all those shots? He would have had 25 assists in this game. But is that his fault that players are missing shots too? We lost this game by 7 points. We left 23 points on the board. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And that's not counting the wide open shots that were missed when Trae wasn't on the floor. Understand, you're not going to continue to try to argue with me that it's Trae Young's fault when we lose a game and not his credit when we win games. This is madness that so many people hate Trae Young so much that the only thing you can do is harp on some mistakes that he does make from game to game when he's trying to win the game. He's trying to do everything to win the game. Just like Magic Johnson did, just like J. Kidd, just like Jason Terry did, just like everybody who's ever played the point guard position. But some of them really pass the ball a lot. When you do that, you're gonna give up some turnovers. Some of them for Trae are bonehead, but a lot of them are actually passes he's trying to make. And sometimes players just don't grab the ball. They don't catch the ball. That really ain't his fault, but they always attribute the turnover to him. Whatever. But those were all misses, guys. Misses. Okay? And I got some other stuff I'm going to talk about if I don't get a chance to. You know what? Let me go ahead and do it now because I might forget about it. Here is an interesting shot right here.
Jalen Johnson, 5 seconds on the shot clock, looking for the contact. Capella, 2 seconds. Blocked by Wemby. And a shot clock violation.
Now, you just can't casually turn and shoot it right in the face of Victor.
Want me to play that again? I'll play that again later on. You just can't turn and shoot casual. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't understand where I'm coming from. You just don't get it, do you? Some of you don't. Some of you do. Some of you do. Some of you have been watching around the ATL for a minute, and you know. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you comment if you're watching this, or whenever you do get to watch it, make sure you put in a comment, excuse me, wherever you might be watching from. I will see it eventually, hopefully. But definitely do it while I'm online. So if you get the chance, if you're out and about and you get to watch this, well, if you're not out and about, you're at home, you're watching this, definitely comment. Don't do it if you're driving, but if you're listening, appreciate that. So let's get into the game. First quarter, first shot. Trae has CP3. Vassell picks Trae. Dyson switches. Vassell moves to the paint. JJ has left his man. Trae and JJ switch. Vassell hits a jumper over JJ. First shot, first quarter.
Young leading the NBA, 12 assists per game. Vassell scores his first bucket of the night.
Nothing but net, huh? Second shot, Dyson goes for a steal on CP3. He doesn't get it, but because the team saw it and they looked like he got it because it's Dyson Daniels, the great barrier thief, right? They start to move, but he didn't get the steal. So ZR has left Sohan. CP3 passes to him and he dunks it. Mind you, JJ is the help defender on this one.
Tyre take the lead with a three. Paul almost turns it over. Now down to Sohan, who waits and jams it.
Jeremy is just so explosive off 2 feet.
The reason I mentioned that JJ is the help defender because JJ didn't really help. Did he contest? Did he jump? Did he foul? I know it's early in the game, but this is something that happens a lot. Okay. So that's 4 points so far right there, right? Is Trae involved in any of those points so far? No, he isn't. Third shot, first quarter. Sohan hits another shot in the paint.
Sohan, they move it. Vassell, Wemby down low. The Green Monster.
Oh, Jeremy Sohan with a little lefty hook shot.
Yeah, turnaround left hook on JJ. Was he on Trae right there? Again, about assignments. Once you're on someone, you got to try to stop that person for that possession. Whatever happens, you got to try. You might not be able to, but you got to try. And if you're supposed to be a better defender than someone else, you definitely have an expectation that that person shouldn't score, right? But that person just scored on JJ. Was that Trae? Is Trae and JJ the same person now? Are you just going to gloss over JJ giving up that basket onto the paint? Again, you gotta keep it even keeled here. It's not about blaming someone. It's about attributing what's actually happened in each game and each possession and what happens when these teams beat us and preventing it next time. Because the film is there. And it's not Trae. He is not the main reason that we lose games at all. That's all I'm doing is showing y'all that. Fourth shot, first quarter, pick and roll. Love it. Dyson has Vassell. Clint has Wemby. Wemby picks off Dyson in this case. He's chasing Vassell now. And we know Dyson's pretty good on defense, right? So more than likely he would have caught up with Vassell. He would maybe blocking from behind, whatever the case is. But Clint, as usual, looks at the ball handler only. There is no switching. Dyson is on his hip. Zach is there, but Dyson could have switched to Wemby, right? Or Clint could have engaged Vassell a little bit better and not back up on him and give him room to operate. And Zach was behind him in this case as the help defender. But instead, this is what happens.
Assists a game, 7th most in the NBA, 5th best assist to turnover ratio. Wemby drills it from downtown.
Let me play it again.
Assists a game, 7th most in the NBA, 5th best assist to turnover ratio. Wemby drills it from downtown.
See, when I play basketball, we switch everything. No, let me take that back. Depending who's on the court, when my team picks me up and I see who's on the other side, I ask, hey guys, are we staying with man, or are we going to switch everything, or are we going to play it by ear? Those are the three options, because we do it situational. Is the big on the other team a shooter at all? Right? Otherwise, no big deal. But if he is, guess what? We got to switch, or I don't care about that role person. I'm getting back on my man, because my job is to stop the center, because I'm the tallest and the biggest person out there most of the time. That's not what the Hawks do, though. The Hawks always, we have two people on the ball handler, even if our teammate makes it through the screen. We always have two bodies on one person no matter what, and especially if the big is actually a three-point shooter. Let me play it again.
Assists a game, 7th most in the NBA, 5th best assist to turnover ratio. Wemby drills it from downtown.
That's not Mason Plumlee out there. That's the alien. 5th shot, first quarter, fast break. What do I always talk about on fast breaks? Stopping the ball and not just walking back up the court just for the sake of walking back up the court. You need to find your man. And if you can't find a man, find your man, call it out and say, hey, pick up mine, I got yours. The Hawks don't do that, and we gave up 26 fast break points in this Spurs game. That's another reason we really lost that game, too. 5th shot, fast break.
This first one looked awfully good as well. It's really comfortable early.
Spurs by 3. Paul with the steal. Up to Vassell, first start of the season. He cans a 3.
Now, that turnover was really Chris Paul taking it from Clint down there or whatever. But you can say it was from Trae Young, I guess. But at the end of the day, we didn't get back. We didn't get back and gave up a fast break 3. It was contested, though, at least, right? 6th shot. I just have to play this one. I don't want to talk about this one.
Fakes the pass out. Almost lost it. Wemby. Another 3.
Why isn't Clint on his man? Oh, well, Chris, he was trying to help. No, you stay with Wemby. You're the only other guy out there who has size to technically defend him, and you're messing with other people. Let that person handle theirs. You need to stay with your man. And look at the contest on this 3. Watch this contest.
Fakes the pass out. Almost lost it. Wemby. Another 3.
You're trying to convince me that was ultimate effort to try to stop that 3? No, it wasn't. 7th shot, first quarter, another pick and roll. Nats, in this case, he chooses not to stay with Bassey. And since Vic gets beat before number 5 gets the ball, he can't recover. So Bassey rolls to the basket for a dunk. Now, Bogey actually does come in really late, though, but he does come in to try to help defense. But, it wasn't really nothing Bogey could do. So I give these 2 points to the whole team in this case. 7th shot, first quarter.
When it's all said and done, he's going to be up there with Chris Paul and Jason Kidd.
The alley-oop, not so. Charles Bassey.
Let me play that again real quick. Watch Vic.
When it's all said and done, he's going to be up there with Chris Paul and Jason Kidd.
The alley-oop, not so. Charles Bassey.
Vic just gets beat. It's not even really a pick and roll. He just gets beat. But anyway, that's another 2 points, though, that Trae didn't give up so far, by the way. 8th shot, first quarter. JJ leaves Johnson wide open for a 3. Let's watch that.
Young. Johnson. Hits a 3. Keldon's back.
Now, I'm going to play this clip again. I want you to tell me exactly what Jalen Johnson was doing and why nobody would want to blame him for that 3-point shot. Because that 3 point shot. Again, we lost by 7, and this was a wide open 3 that JJ gave up. Watch this.
Young. Johnson. Hits a 3. Keldon's back.
We do not stay attached with our guys, and it costs us every single possession. Nice shot. Bogey doesn't stay with his man.
Averages 12 a game off the bench, 25 minutes per. Champagnie, catch and shoot 3. That's what he does. A 36% three-point shooter.
And that's what it looks like. We act like nobody in the NBA can hit a 3. That's why teams hit so many 3s against us. That's why we're at the bottom of the NBA. 3s given up per game, percentage, and everything. There was a point this year we were giving up 17 3s a game. Now, I did not check that. The last time I checked it was 2 weeks ago when we were having the win streak. We were at 15.8. Okay? But in this game, the Atlanta Hawks gave up, where is it at? 19 3s. Crying out loud. All right, that was Bogey's 9th shot. 10th shot. Wemby walks up the court and hits a 3. Another 3. This is back-to-back 3s.
Johnson fading, tough shot. Almost banked it in.
Perfect time to go 2-1 here.
Wembenyama. Red hot from downtown. That's his 3rd.
Blame that on Trae too? Blame that on Trae too somehow? Like, all these points are not being given up by Trae Young, but we're blaming Trae for this loss. Look at all these points that have been scored. Let me show you that again.
Johnson fading, tough shot. Almost banked it in.
Perfect time to go 2-1 here.
Wembenyama. Red hot from downtown. That's his 3rd.
That's his 3rd. But it's Trae's fault, though. 11 shot, first quarter. I want you to look where all the players are at. Off of a dribble, Hunter and JJ leave their man. Bogey isn't looking at his man either. You got 5 players staring at the ball handler. So now you got players that are back cutting because that's the rule. Your man turns your back, you got to go, right? Wemby gets the ball, he starts to dribble. Of course, he causes commotion. But then you got Cutting Johnson coming up on Jalen, who lays it up again. Watch this.
To sprint up the floor and get another shot off.
Wembenyama passing, Keldon Johnson all the way.
Now tell me, I'm going to play this again, but tell me, how is that Trae's fault?
To sprint up the floor and get another shot off.
Wembenyama passing, Keldon Johnson all the way.
That's another 2 points. Did you see the score down 36-27? That's the score right there. Look at all those points I just showed you, and that was just the first quarter I showed you. Trae Young wasn't even on the floor on that one. So how is this loss on Trae Young if you are trying to attribute his 3 missed free throws and that turnover? That's 5 points. But I've just shown you how many buckets by just Wemby alone, Johnson, Vassar. Second quarter, first shot. Let me scroll up a little bit. First shot, second quarter. So Johnson backdoors JJ again and lays it up. JJ, by the way, at this point has given up 13 points in this game. 13. So it's not about blame. I'm just showing you what's actually happening, and you make your own conclusions. But Jalen Johnson, going into this particular shot right now that I'm about to show you, has given up 13 points in this game already. And Trae Young hasn't given up any yet. But it's his fault that we lost this game by 7? I don't think so. Here's the first shot, second quarter.
Extra hot. Y'all will hear me
Double.
crunching.
I'm a wuss. I can only do 1.
No,
Keldon
it's good stuff.
goes up for 2.
Jalen don't know where his man is at. I'll show you.
Extra hot. No,
You're going double.
crunching.
I'm a wuss. I can only do one.
No,
Sheldon
it's good stuff.
goes up for 2.
See, at a certain point, you can't have your whole attention focused on that one player when you have an assignment. Unless you're going to double team somebody, that's the only time you should have all your effort into someone who you're not guarding, is that you're going to go double team. And then you got to hope that your brethren switch and rotate. But if you're not going to double team, you need to stay with your man. I don't care. You got to stay with your man, and we don't do it. We do it horribly. We do a horrible job at it sometimes. That was the first shot of the second quarter. Here's the second shot.
Wait. Yvette's trying to take the hot sauce away. Slapping her hand over here.
I'm going to get another shot here.
Now, I don't agree that was an and one, but they called it that, so Nance gives up that bucket. He drove on Nance. Nobody else was guarding him. Trae Young wasn't guarding Wemby. Wemby is scoring a lot of points, isn't he? We didn't double team him one time this game either. Wemby averages 24 a game and he scored 42. I'm supposed to believe that 42 points ain't no big deal. We supposed to just give up as many points as we can. Curry give up 6. We give up 60 to Curry, 50 to Luka, 70 to Luka. We don't care about that. We care about the 5 points that Trae gave up in overtime. Man. Which one was that? That was the second shot. Third shot, another pick and roll. Dyson stays with Paul, but Nance now shows all of his energy to Chris Paul, even though Chris Paul ain't hurting us. He hasn't even shot the ball. His first field goal comes in the third quarter, by the way. So why do we care about what Chris Paul is doing? Chris Paul is trying to pass the ball. But no, Nance has said, no, I'm going to look at Chris Paul and not care about the most dangerous player on the Spurs. So watch how this ends out, though.
Strong salsa has got us going here in the second quarter. Wemby, the fake, and he drills it.
Wow.
That's embarrassing. Why? Because Dyson went around, so he didn't get encumbered by Wemby, stayed with his man, so there was no reason for Nats to look at Paul. Dyson was on Chris Paul. He needed to get back. He needed to get on Wemby. And why is Nats all the way back in the here? They're the two in the front. Let me play it again.
Strong salsa has got us going here in the second quarter. Wemby, the fake, and he drills it.
Wow.
That's not defense. Why was Nats way back yonder? And then when he did come up, he didn't even contest. He gave a flat-footed. Look, I'm going to put my hand up, but I'm not really trying to jump. Even though I know you're a three-point shooter, and that's all you've been doing is hitting threes. But we're going to blame Trae Young, only Trae Young, right? Okay, keep going. Fourth shot, fast break. In this case, now this is Trae's fault. Trae had Sohan, but turned his back on the fast break. So he wasn't paying attention. So he was back, but he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't attached to anybody, right? So this is on Trae. Fourth shot, second quarter. See what I just did? This is on Trae. Did I gloss over it? This is a fast break off of a turnover. Trae had gotten back, but he turns his back to who he had, and he scored. This is Trae's fault. It's a dunk. Fast break.
Another turnover.
Another Victor effect.
Keldon Johnson. Passing to Sohan.
Trae Young never saw Sohan. Never saw him. He was back, but he wasn't back. You see what I'm saying? That's what I talk about. We gave up 26 fast break points, and that's how we usually do it. We're never attached to anybody. We just get back. We lollygag. We lollygag back. We're not seeing what's going on around us. We can't use our peripheral vision for some reason. But nobody calls it out either. Because if you had called it out, someone would say, hey, pick up Sohan, pick up this person, pick up that person. But we don't do that. But that one was Trae's fault for sure. Fifth shot, Zach has Barnes, but he leaves his man. off the block shot from Capella. Capella gets a block shot here. Barnes then crashes the board, drives, and then hits a shot. Now, I could give it to Clint for not contesting the second shot, but in the end, it's Zach just not being on his man that causes this one. So 5th shot, 2nd quarter. Let's watch it.
Castle keeps, and he's rejected by Capella. Barnes got it back, was fouled, and it counts.
So you see why I said I could give that to Clint. Like, Clint didn't even move after Barnes got it. He just kind of chilled. Like, the possession was over, and it wasn't, right? You got to play all the way through. You're playing. You're trying to not let them score. Remember, we gave up 50 points in the paint to the San Antonio Spurs that night, too. 50 points in the paint and 26 fast break points and 19 threes. See, you can't have all those things happen. Like, if we hadn't given up the 19 threes, we probably win the game. We didn't give up the 26 fast break points. We win that game despite the 50 points in the paint. Right? There we go. That's better. I forgot what time it was. 6th shot, pick and roll again. Love it. So Trae gets picked. Hunter could have immediately switched to stop the ball, but doesn't. Bassey dives to the basket as Clint has left his man again. Even though JJ was there as a help defender, both Hunter and Clint now are guarding the ball. Doesn't make any sense, which of course leaves Bassey open for a layup. I'm giving it to Clint. I could give it to Hunter, but I'm giving this one to Clint. 6th shot, 2nd quarter.
A 6-point swing there. You mentioned Castle caught, got it to Bassey, puts it in. Charles Bassey.
And see, what makes me mad about these kind of baskets is this is stuff that you can practice out. This is stuff that you can hone and just get more disciplined on, and we just don't. And it comes up at just the most inopportune times. You see what I'm saying? And it irks me to death. 7th shot. What's going on here? I don't even have to say nothing to this one.
Now they lead by 8. Champagny almost lost it. Vassell cuts, hangs, and he lays it in.
Did Trae give up that layup? No. 8th shot.
Champagny.
Good isolation in the middle of the floor.
Wembenyama up, under, easy money for Wemby.
And up and under from the free throw line. Now, first of all, that's because Wemby is Wemby, right? But we didn't even try to double team him. Clint can't hold this guy. We didn't even try to double team. We just said, oh, you got it, Clint. Clint don't have him. No, we don't. Sorry. How many points does Wemby have now? What's that? But we're going to blame Trae. Did Trae give up those points? No. Giving up a lot of points. This team is right now. 9th shot. Vassell off of a rebound hits a 3. He was open because Vitt didn't stay with his man. That's the only reason he was open. Watch this. This is off of a rebound.
Can't get it to go, though. Young had it, lost it. Vassell at the buzzer. Got it!
The whole point of you got 2 men back and you got your 2 defenders back is to defend all the way through. That was a free throw. You can't take nothing for granted. The moment that ball came off, you saw Vassell moving, you needed to bolt and get in front of your man to take him away as an option. That's not what happened. Vitt basically stood there and let Vassell come up, get the rebound, and shoot the 3. That's another 3 that we gave up for no reason. They hit 19 threes on us. Trae didn't give up 19 threes in this game. I've already shown you how many have the Spurs hit. Did you see Trae Young on any of them? No, you haven't. But people want to blame Trae Young on this game, though. It's very interesting to me. We are now in the 3rd quarter. Where am I at here? There we go. So 3rd quarter. Chris Paul hits a jumper.
3 or 4 footer along the baseline. And again, that is not an easy shot just because you're close. You can't use the backboard.
Paul rises up and scores. That's his first shot of the game.
Am I supposed to just concede that shot? As a big, am I supposed to concede that shot? Heck no. That's a block shot from me. My job is not to let the little people score. That was a little person. And he scored. Bump all that. I don't let that happen. Second shot. Hawks, remember, Hawks gave up 26 fast break points. We want to look at the main reason we lost this game. Look at the 19 threes we gave up and the 26 fast break points we gave up. Because we never stopped the ball. I just said it. We lackadaisically get back. We just kind of backpedal. We ain't looking to see who's around us. We ain't calling no assignments or nothing. We don't know where nobody is, apparently. JJ had Barnes. Dyson had to watch both Barnes. Oh, so JJ had Barnes. Dyson had to watch both Barnes and Vassar because nobody got back. Okay, but I'm going to give these to the whole team because nobody got back. Second shot, third quarter.
The Hawks, as Vassell switches a three.
That wasn't on Dyson as much as it is people not getting on their assignments. He's forced to try to stick two people. Another three given up. Here's a third shot, third quarter.
So is Chris Paul. Ball got knocked away. Sohan regains possession, spins over Ricochet and scores.
Showed some outstanding touch once he's able to corral the pass.
Did you hear the touch part? Man just posted up Zach and just spun around, and he's done it on JJ. He's doing it on Zach. He's doing it on everybody. Ridiculous. Fourth shot. Wemby shoots a three. He misses it. Clint gets the rebound. Chris Paul takes it from him, or he knocks it out of Clint's hands, and Sohan gets the dunk because nobody else picks up.
Wembanyama checks his feet. Can't hit that time. Sohan got it back, scored it, count it.
But that's Trae's fault too. I mean, again, think about all these points that keep going in, and we haven't attributed any points to Trae Young. Well, no, we have 2 points so far. Out of all these points so far, 2 points so far have gone to Trae. But it's his fault we lost the game. JJ has given up 13 himself. That right there is why you lost the game. If you want to, blame somebody. But it ain't about blame. It's showing who all did what in the game and seeing what actually happened and trying to fix it the next time. But people want to physically blame Trae Young for each loss, even though, again, he was responsible for 55 points in this game. 23 and 16. 23 and 16, guys. He didn't give up 50 points in this game. He didn't give up 40 points in it. It's gonna make you mad when you see how many points he actually gave up in this game. And you want to blame Trae for this game. Huh? All right, we're getting there. Fifth shot. Oh, here's another one.
Really appreciates the love and support. The Spurs get a steal. Sohan's running. Paul saw it. Dyson Daniels knocked it away, but Barnes turning back the clock.
Barnes beat JJ down. It was JJ's turnover. Remember, he had 4. Trae had 5. JJ had 4. That's 9 between 2 people. But we want to just blame Trae? And JJ's giving up all these buckets. We want to blame Trae? Makes sense to me, I guess. But Barnes beats JJ down the court. Gets a dunk. Sixth shot. Here's another three-point shot.
But has been struggling from downtown this season, a career worst, 32%. Vassell, money from 3. He's got 16 points in his first start.
They hit 19 threes on us, and we're blaming Trae Young for everything. For a turnover and 3 missed free throws. But this team hit 19 three-pointers, had 26 points in the paint, 26 fast break points, 50 points in the paint. But we're blaming Trae Young. And Trae Young is not one who's given up all these points. But it's just Trae Young's fault. See, that's why I do these reviews. Game after game, possession for possession. It's not the truth. It's just not the truth. 7 shot. Vassell gets a dunk on a fast break because Dyson didn't turn his head.
Young. The handle. Hunter. Stripped. Champagny. Wemby trailing up to Castle.
So Trae turned the ball over 5 times. JJ turned the ball over 4 times. Hunter turned the ball over 3 times, but it's just Trae's fault. I just think that's interesting. And you just saw what happened right there, didn't you? I don't know if people watch games. That's how I look at it, but that's why I do the review. So you see it for yourself. We haven't gotten to overtime yet. Look at all the points that have been scored. Let me show you that again. Which shot was that? 7.
Young. The handle. Hunter. Stripped. Champagny.
We had a 78-75 lead, and then we give up another bucket. Trae Young has 16 assists in this game, but we left 23 points on the board for the 9 other passes that Trae gave, and people missed shots. He's supposed to be blamed for the missed shots too? 8th shot, Vassell again.
Castle pulling up, and he's failing it.
Yep.
The national champ failing himself.
Feeling himself. 9th shot, another pick and roll. I love it. This time, Nance does engage. But Vassell is just a little bit faster and gets around him. Lays it up. Hunter was the help defender. He left the paint, though. He left the paint. I don't know why he did it, but he did.
Vassell. Attacking. Keeps and scores.
I like how he held the ball out there. Didn't give Nance Jr. a chance to swipe at it.
See, Nance did what he was supposed to do right there, but nobody helped him. And Hunter was right there. He was in the paint, and then he just glided out and just let it happen. He could have fouled him. He could have blocked the shot. He could have did something, but instead he removed himself from the situation. Let me show it again. Watch Hunter in this possession.
Vassell. Attacking. Keeps and scores.
I like how he held the ball out there. Didn't give Nance Jr. a chance to swipe at it.
So let me know. He wasn't supposed to be there no how, of course, because his man is way back there. But since he was there, why not help? It's too late for you to go back now. Make someone rotate. See, that's the whole point of rotations, is that if you help and they do happen to pass the ball to do something different, everybody got to rotate one man. And the Hawks don't do that either. But Hunter was there. He could have stopped that shot. He was coming in for the shot, coming in hot, right? But since Hunter moved out the way, there was no reason for him to do anything but lay it up. 2 points. 50 points in the paint. 10th shot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Champagny or something like that. Watch this contest from Nance. Tell me is this acceptable to y'all? I want someone to tell me why this, what you're about to see, is cool.
Vassell. Champagny. Lets it fly and rattles it home.
That wasn't a contest, was it? Did he jump? He didn't even want to put his hand up. He put his hand up late. That's not a contest. Flat foot contests are not contests. We can see too many threes, guys. But that's Trae's fault, too. He gave up that one, too, huh? That's interesting. I haven't said a whole lot of Trae in this quarter, have I? Where am I at? 11th shot. Where am I at? 11th shot, 3rd quarter. So Nance had Sohan, and his foot is in the paint. So he's in the paint, not nowhere near his man. Ball swung around. You know what's about to happen, right? You know what's about to happen, right?
Madison Hawk, Dan Weiss with you here on CWSA. All tied at 85. Champagny kicks it out. Sohan a three. Got it!
Unnerving. We gave up 19 threes in this game, guys, because we simply will not stay with our assignment. We simply won't do it. We can't do it on a regular enough basis. That's why we lose games. I'm not going to say Trae Young don't got nothing to do with losses. I've never said that. But whatever his mistakes are not losing games. The only way you can legitimately say that is that Trae Young had 8 turnovers and they scored 24 points off the turnovers, and he scored 10 points and he had 4 assists. Because that means he's not productive on the offensive end and he gave up a whole bunch of points on the defensive end. Then you can blame Trae Young for a loss. Until that happens, you can't really do that. Because look at all these points. We still haven't gotten to overtime yet. You see the score keeps fluctuating? That's because of the 16 assists and the 23 points that he's putting up. But we keep giving up threes. We keep giving up fast break points. We keep giving up points in the paint. And they ain't Trae's guy. 12th shot, last shot of the third quarter. Vassell gets another layup.
Gets a big dunk.
Pete Krejci, the backup point guard for the Hawks. Castle responds. He went right down Broadway.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Went right down Broadway. No resistance. I don't know what to say. Fourth quarter, first shot. Fake pick and roll. Love it. Johnson has the ball. Champagny comes up but goes through. So it's not actual pick and roll. Bogey, if he had stayed with his man, would have been cool. That would have allowed Hunter to stay with Johnson. Instead, you got 2 people again on Johnson for no reason. Champagny goes to the hole and he gets a layup on JJ. Ain't the first time it's happened this game.
Well, you want to kind of hold down the fort and get Victor and Chris Paul back in this one.
AJ thought about the three. Champagny slipped and scores.
Second shot. Wrong one.
Wemby faces, drives, scores it.
That was Trae Young's fault too, huh? Third shot. Now this is one that really got me upset. I'm gonna play it.
Spinning. Trying to work on Bogdanovich. And he does work him.
Now, someone explained to me how that's Trae's fault, that Bogey is on Wemby, and that Clint did nothing to help. He watched his man get back down and scored upon and did nothing. And just throw it in there. Nobody else did either, but definitely your big man should have helped out because he's your big man. I couldn't have let that happen. What do I say when I play basketball? If for whatever reason I do get picked off of my man off of a switch or something like that, if they don't take immediate advantage of that mismatch that has occurred, I get back on my man. We switch back. We call it out. Switch back. I got him. Or I double team. I'm in his grill. Or I foul. Those are the options. But letting them score on my guard? No, that's not going to happen. Hawks let it happen all the time. We don't care. We just concede the shot. Nothing can be done about it. That's what we say. We don't know what double teaming is. We don't know how to help. We don't want it. Let me see what the score is.
Spinning.
We had the freaking lead again. How is this Trae's fault? And no one wants to explain it. No one wants to point it out. Nobody wants to show me what they're talking about. They just want to say stuff. And I'm not going to let people do it because it's ridiculous. Fourth shot. I'm not even going to say nothing about this one either. Watch. Uh-oh, where is it at? Uh-oh. Bear with me here. I'm missing a shot. SOT. All right, I'm going to download it real quick. I don't know how that happened. I got to play it, so I don't want to see fourth shot. There it is. How did that happen? Hopefully I don't get out of order now because I kind of messed up. I don't know how that happened, though. But this is important. It's important stuff. So I'm doing this in real time real quick. Hopefully it downloads pretty quick. There we go. Fourth shot. Fourth.
Trae Young's going back to the locker room. Here's Wemby. Just flips it off the glass, throws it down.
Now, the Hawks were up 101 to 99, and they just tied it again off of a backboard dunk from Wemby on Clint. And I'm supposed to blame Trae Young. We continue to have the lead. We continue to give up the lead. Trae Young, again, he's in the locker room apparently for whatever reason. He ain't on the floor giving up those 2 points right there in the paint against Wemby, who's scoring all the points, who we won't double team for nothing. Fifth shot, fourth quarter. Let me scroll back up and find where I'm at here. Another fast break. Nobody stops the ball. Nobody picks up man. Wemby bringing up the ball again. Watch this.
Will he try it again? He thought about it. Now he throws the lob. Sohan!
Spurs had 26 fast break points. One player can't give up 26 fast break points. That's a team effort there. We gave up 50 points in the paint and 19 threes. See, that's team effort there. Did Trae Young give up 19 threes? No. Did he give up all 26 fast break points? No. Did he give up all 50 points in the paint? No. Why are we blaming Trae Young and Trae Young only? We had all these other players on the floor. That's why I do the reviews. Because this is still not overtime where he makes this turnover that everybody says it was a disaster. But we are getting close to another reason why I said, why are we blaming Trae Young when we should never have went to overtime? We're getting close. We're getting close. So sixth shot. Another easy bucket for the Spurs.
Keldon Johnson, the up fake. Drives, spins, scores.
That was just one-on-one. Was that on Trae Young, though? Now, here's another one that was Trae's fault. Here's the 7 shot. It's a turnover on Trae Young.
The defense stepped up. The Spurs have withstood the run. Trae Young's pass deflected. Chris Paul to Jeremy Sohan all alone.
So let me ask you something. I played that, right? I preluded it by, hey, this is Trae's fault. This is a turnover on Trae, 2 points on Trae. And I played the clip, right? Why? Because it was the next possession. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not glossing over Trae's mistakes and or errors. I'm showing you, though, he is not making that many errors to say we're losing the game because of him, because of all the points that have been given up by everybody else on the team besides Trae Young. And there's a whole lot more than what Trae Young has done. Again, you would have an argument if Trae Young was turning the ball over 8 times a game and there's 24 points off of turnovers and he's scoring 10 points and giving you 3 assists. Then you would have a real sincere argument at that point. Trae Young ain't doing that. He had 23 and 16 in just this game alone. 55 points he produced in this game. And we left 23 points on the board. I showed you that. I showed you some of the highlights. He had 9 more passes that people missed shots on. But we're blaming Trae for 3 missed free throws and that turnover in overtime? And we gave up 19 3-pointers in this game that Trae didn't give up. All the points in the paint. Trae gave up a couple of those. I'll get to that at the end of this. At the end of this, I'll show you who gave up how many points. 8th shot, 4th quarter, another pick and roll. I love it. Bogey gets picked by Wemby this time. Nance, instead of engaging Paul, backs up. So you know what Paul's going to do? The Hall of Famer. And this is kind of a prelude to the end of the game. Just go ahead and give you a little hint.
Paul guarded by Bogey. Rises up and cans it. He says, finally.
He did the Paula Abdul. Steps forward, 2 steps back, right? You can't give them, you can't do it. I play basketball. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I play basketball, and I couldn't get away with the stuff that sometimes the Hawks get away with on a regular basis, game after game after game, possession for possession. There's no adjustments from the bench. We gave up 19 threes, 26 fast break points, and there was no adjustments. And we never double teamed Wemby, the only player really killing you besides Vassar. But again, Wemby scores 24 points a game. We gave up 42 to him. You can't convince me that 42 points is good by one player, and Trae giving up 5 points is the worst thing ever in life. You can't convince me of that. I'm sorry, because that's not why we lost this game. I've shown you that through video footage. Which one was that? 8th. Here's a nice shot. Again, nobody's guarding anybody like they're supposed to. You got a lot of people open on this possession. Is giving you a heads up. This is not going to be cool, but I'm going to play it, though.
One foul inside the last 2 minutes. That foul to give. Quickly to Vassell. Baseline shot good. Devin Vassell has 20 off.
People just don't know where he's supposed to go. Bogey finally decides, okay, we're going to go over here. You know, because he got him and he got him, but who got him? And 10th shot. Hunter has Vassar. Hunter, again, has his head turned the entire possession. And Vassal just moves to the top of the key, and you'll see what happens. Here's one of the, and look at the score. I want you to check the score out. Wait, hold on. 10th shot, last quarter.
Paul. Keldon Johnson stepping in. Kicks it out. Vassell, quick fire. Tied at 1:15.
With a minute, 15, 16 seconds left. We have a 3-point lead. We have a 3-point lead. Hasn't hit overtime yet. Hadn't hit overtime yet. And we give up a 3. We gave up a nonsensical 3 that should never have been given up. But it gets worse because the very next possession, watch what happens.
Sucks in our jerseys, and there's Jalen Johnson all by himself.
Paul tied it, and a foul.
We lost the game by 7 points, right? We just saw 7 points get scored, back-to-back possessions. You saw Hunter on CP3 coming up. No one called out the back pick on Wemby. So Hunter just backs up into Wemby. Oh! And then instead of getting right back on Hunter and say, man, I'm still in this game, we got a 3-point lead. It's 118 to 115. This is the game on the line now. Game is on the line. Game is on the line. We got the lead back. We just gave up a 3-point lead. They tied it. We got the lead back. But no, Hunter says, oh, I'm going to stay on Wemby. I'm going to stay on Wemby. So Chris Paul is bringing the ball up, and you know Nance, he likes to back it up. Give you room. Hall of Famer, go ahead. State Farm commercial guy. Want to watch it again? I'll play it again. Here we go.
sucks in our jerseys, and there's Jalen Johnson all by himself.
Paul tied it, and a foul.
And then Nets fouled him too to give him the lead. 7 points, back 2 3-pointers and a free throw, back to back, tied the game. And of course the game went into overtime. We were winning though, but that was Trae's fault though. Those 2 threes were Trae's fault. Explain it to me. We didn't have to go to overtime. We gave up 6 points for no reason. I can't remember if he hit the free throw, by the way. Maybe he didn't. But at the end of the day, we had the lead twice. We had the doggone lead 2 times, and we gave up 2 threes, and it had nothing to do with Trae Young. And I showed you 4 possessions just on Wemby alone that Wemby scored 10 points for no good reason that we didn't have to give up just because we didn't want to play defense right. We didn't want to stay with our man. We didn't want to switch. We didn't want to contest a 3. We gave up 19 threes, and almost all of them were open and or non-contested. Flat foot contested, or a hand kind of back here, or I'm going to kind of go out there and just kind of, but I'm not going to contest this 3. You're going to just hit it anyway, right? I ain't trying to win the game. So now let's go to overtime. I got some overtime shots here. First shot, overtime. Paul passes to Wemby, Chris Paul, who hits a 3. Imagine that. This is the first shot in overtime, I believe, and they get a 3-point lead because of it.
Paul, 5 seconds on the shot clock, guarded by Dyson Daniels. Kicks it out. Wembanyama stepping through and hit a 3 at the shot clock buzzer.
Wow. That's literally jump without a pump fake. Like, what is he jumping? What was he doing there? Like you misjumped? Like, how you mistime your jump at that point? I see some people coming in a little late. Make sure you check out from the very beginning, but do comment when you go through everything because I want to know what y'all really think. That was the first shot of overtime. Okay, why is I am missing the second shot of overtime? Yes, I am. So let's download that one too. Dang, I think something was wrong with the program. That's the only thing I can say. Second shot overtime. There it is. I know I downloaded it, but I didn't download it here for some reason. Or I uploaded it, I should say. Maybe it just didn't process. So here's the second shot of overtime. Wemby dives to the bucket, I should say. Gets a pass from Chris Paul for a dunk in overtime.
1 point San Antonio lead. Paul inside, Wembanyama all the way.
That's what I'm talking about.
Game is on the line. You gotta wrap him up. You gotta put an elbow in him or something. You gotta grab him and hold him. Grab him and hold him. We don't do any of these things, guys. But we should never have gotten to overtime, though, is the point, right? Third shot, overtime. I'm trying to get back up here. Hold on. Find it. Third shot, overtime. There it is. Wemby hits another 3.
Only played in now 11 games this season. Wembanyama, a long 3. He's got the last 10.
He's got the last 10. Did he get the last 10 on Trae Young, though? I don't think he did. Fifth shot.
Paul rises and scores. Uncle Chris.
So, Uncle Chris, y'all heard that? Oh, my bad. You know what? Did I miss one? I missed one.
That's a risky shot. Makes it look easy.
Sohan, a wall. He stole it. Keldon Johnson, all the way.
So that's the turnover everyone was talking about. But as you noted, the shot before that was a 3 that we didn't have to give up. We were only down by 2. We were down by 2, though. You see what I'm saying? And again, look at all the 3s that Wemby hit. The first three in the overtime was by Wemby, who gave them the lead. But we're going to blame Trae. We're going to skip the first, second, third, and fourth quarter, and we're going to blame Trae because of that turnover. We were down because we gave up a three, another three. Look, here's the possession right before that one.
Only played in now 11 games this season. Wemby, a long three. He's got the last 10.
The Hawks were up by 126-125. Then we give up the three. We still had the lead, though, until that three. Who gave up that three? So, again, we gave up 42 points to one young man who usually scores 24, and we gave up 2 threes at the end of the fourth quarter when we were up twice by 3. We were up twice by 3 the last minute of the fourth quarter, and we gave up both leads. And that's how we got to overtime. But we were supposed to blame Trae Young in overtime when we should have won the game in regulation. And I showed you all the layups that we gave up, all the open threes that we gave up, all the fast break points that we gave up. But it's Trae's fault. So here's how it ended up panning out, guys. Jalen Johnson gave up 25 points in this game. He only gave up one of the threes, but he gave up 25 points. Clint gave up 16 points and 2 threes. Zach gave up 2 threes. He gave up 10 points. Bogey, a 3, gave up 7 points. Hunter gave up 2 of the threes, gave up 8 points total. Nance gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threes in this game for 27 points given up. But it's Trae's fault because Trae gave up 6 points in this game. No, my bad, 8 points. 8 points. So 27 is lower than 8. 25 is lower than 8 points. Because between Larry Nance and Jalen Johnson, they gave up 50-something points in this game. Trae Young was responsible for 55. Cancels it out right there, don't it? But Clint gave up 16 points himself as well. Those threes hurt. Those threes hurt a lot. And Trae didn't give up any threes. So how are we blaming this loss on Trae Young? Vic gave up 3 and Dyson gave up 5. We had the lead. We had the lead every single time the 3 got hit. And Trae didn't give up none of them. So how are we blaming Trae Young for the loss? How are you blaming Trae Young for the loss? We left 23 points on the floor from missed shots, from 9 passes from Trae where people didn't hit their shots. He had 16 assists in the game, plus 23 points. But we're going to blame him for his 3 missed free throws somehow? That doesn't make logical sense, guys. He didn't give up that 3 at the beginning of overtime. It was tied. And then all of a sudden, we're down by 3. Wemby, who we don't double team. We didn't double team Wemby not one time. So I got a couple of extra things to show. Here is that 3 that started the overtime.
Paul, 5 seconds on the shot clock, guarded by Dyson Daniels. Kicks it out. Wemby stepping through and hit a 3 at the shot clock buzzer.
And here's the one that gave him the, well, I'll just let you watch it.
Only played in now 11 games this season. Wemby, a long 3. He's got the last 10.
You see what I'm saying? He got the last 10 points, and we did nothing to stop it. And that was in overtime. So there's 2 stretches where he scored 10 points in the regulation and 10 points in overtime. That's 20 points. Nobody can stop him because if we had did that, we win the game going away. Because he would have been at his average instead of at 42. We win the game going away. Or instead of giving up 19 threes, we give up 13 threes and we win the game going away. Or instead of giving up 26 fast break points, we give up, 15 fast break points. And we win the game going away. It should have never gotten to overtime. And the only reason it did is because of those 2 3-pointers that Hunter gave up and Nats gave up at the end of the game. We had the lead by 3 both times going into the last minute of regulation. But we're supposed to blame Trae Young somehow. And all I'm saying is you can't just blame Trae Young. You can put some blame on him. You can put a portion of blame on him, but you can't put all the blame on him. You can't. Is it possible? Because he wasn't the one giving up all the points. Trae Young gave up 8 points in this game, while Jalen Johnson gave up 25 and Nats gave up 27. And Nats gave up 7 3-pointers in this game. 7. Siete. 7. Trae Young didn't give up any threes in this game. He gave up 8 points total in this game. 8. He had 5 turnovers. He gave up 8 points. He was responsible for 55 of those boys, though. 55 points. 23 and 16. If he had scored 12 and had 4 assists and you lose this game, then yeah, you can blame it on Trae in that case. But has he ever had he hasn't had a whole heck of a lot of games like that, though, has he? No, he hasn't. Not a lot. And the thing of it is, if Trae Young don't score, he don't have to score if everybody else hits their shots, because he's still passing the ball 30-plus times a game. He could just be passing the ball 5 times a game and just taking all those passes and just using those as field goal attempts. And instead of shooting, let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see. Instead of Trae Young, let's see, Spurs versus Hawks. And make sure you subscribe to IMTN Worldwide Radio. I know I hadn't said it, but it's scrolling right there. And again, when you get to this point of the video, if you I don't know if you're at work or wherever, but if you want to comment and answer the questions I keep throwing out. Okay, comment section is open. Where am I at? Is this it? Yep. December 19th. Yep. Trae Young took 16 shots in this game. Okay. Instead of him passing 30-plus times, maybe he should have just shot it 45 times and scored 70 or something. Okay. Maybe that's what he should start doing. Because Zach shot 4 of 13 in this game. It was 1 of 4 from 3, had 9 points. We lost by 7. Dyson took 6 shots. He was 2 of 6, though, missed both of his threes. He had 4 points in the whole game. The whole game. We lost by 7. And, of course, Clint, he had 10. He was 5 of 7 from the floor. He had 10 points. He gave up 16. We got 3 players in our starting lineup that scored 23 points total amongst 3 of them. But we're blaming Trae Young and what he did on the court, and only Trae Young. I'm just trying to be logical about this. We gave up 19 threes, 26 fast break points, 50 points in the paint. Larry Nance gave up 27 points in this game. But here's a flip of that. He did score 21, so he kind of evened it out, right? But those threes killed us, though. You can't recover from those threes. Those threes were the difference of the game. Wemby had 42. What are we talking about? Like, if Clint had scored 17 himself and Larry Nance had 21, then you're talking about a little bit different story there, right? Just by the math of it. Or if Zach had hit a couple of shots here or there, you know? Because Hunter, let's see. He was 4 of 8 from 3. Actually, Trae Young missed 2 free throws, not 3. I don't know why I keep saying 3. That makes it even worse. There's 1 more point on the board. Jalen had 4 turnovers. Clint had 3 turnovers. I showed you one of them, showed you a couple of them. Dyson had 2 turnovers. Hunter had 3 turnovers. Vic had 2 turnovers. So Trae, what about all the other turnovers? You don't think they hurt the team too? How are you going to gloss over that? You see what I'm saying? That word glossing over. I don't gloss over anything. I'm just not attributing all of it to one player. That's why I started doing these reviews 6 months ago to show you it can't be just Trae's fault. That's impossible because there's more than one player on the court. It's not 1 on 5. It's 5 on 5. It's 10 on 10. It's 12 on 12. What about the other players and what they're not doing? You got to call that out too. I just told you that 2 players gave up 50-plus points in this game, and neither of them are Trae Young. And you're still going to blame Trae Young for this loss? We had the lead twice in the fourth quarter, the last minute of the game. Want me to show y'all the last 2 shots in the fourth quarter again? Let's do that, and then I'm going to get out of here because I got some stuff I got to try to do before the shooting happens. But they be shooting them. Anyway, y'all better stay safe. Y'all stay in the house like I said yesterday. Fourth quarter, where am I at? Fourth quarter, last 2 shots. 10th and 11th. Here we go. Here's the last 2 shots again, and make sure you look at the score. Okay. Here's the 10th shot of the fourth quarter.
Paul. Keldon Johnson stepping in. Kicks it out. Vassell, quick fire. Tied at 115.
So at 1:14 left in the fourth quarter, because Hunter decided not to pay attention to his man, Vassar got a wide open 3. What if he doesn't hit that 3? Because if he doesn't hit that 3, even with Chris Paul hitting the other 3, right? We're still up. I think that's how that works. But here's the second shot. Here's the last shot of the fourth quarter.
Sucks in our jerseys, and there's Jalen Johnson all by himself.
Paul tied it, and a foul.
Yeah, we would have been up because that would have been 1 less 3. We would have been up by 3. We would have been up by 3. We would have won the game by 3 in regulation. You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't have got to overtime in the first place, but because we gave up those 2 threes, right? Or we gave up that easy bucket because Wemby had bogey on him and nobody switched. Clint didn't want to get back on man. Or all the pick and rolls that we gave up, wide open 3s to Wemby, right? The fast break points, right? Like all those things are attributed to the loss. It ain't just one person. It can't ever be just one person. It can't. There could be a primary person, but the primary person is never really Trae Young. I've shown you so many games. It's just not, especially the games that he wasn't on the floor. And you still got people trying to blame him for games he ain't even in. That's the crazy, ludicrous part of this whole argument, quote unquote. But again, nobody can show me game footage of Trae Young like losing these games like this. You see what I'm saying? You can't show me enough footage to show how Trae Young is losing all these games by himself. Game after game after game is because of his defense, it's because of this, it's because of that. You can't show it to me. Because no matter what, Trae Young is producing on the one side of the ball, and he's not the best defender, but he's not the worst defender on the team. He's just not giving up that many points. His man ain't dropping 30 a night. It's just not happening like that. And even if it was, Trae Young is averaging 50 a game. To even his out a little bit. He has some bad times, though. He sure does. He has some bad times, but the amount of time that he passes the ball, he's going to have some turnovers. It's like, again, Magic Johnson averaged 4 turnovers for his career. 4. Trae is at 4 right now for his career, too. And Trae passes probably more than Magic did. And Trae has never had a Hall of Fame lineup on his roster, ever. And he still just be passing the ball. He be passing the ball like he does. You see how that works? One of the reasons we're doing better this year is more people are hitting shots than last year, just to be frank. Hunter is one of those guys. You see how that works? The Hunter gave up a couple of threes that night. Larry Nance Jr. gave up 7. You know, like, come on, like, what are we talking about here? Let me read that again, just so you know. What time is it? I gotta get out of here for sure. JJ only gave up 1 3, but he gave up a lot of layups and jumpers in that game. He gave up 25 points. Jalen Johnson, it was a bad defensive night for him. He gave up 25 points. Trae Young gave up 8. 25 is more than 8 points. I'm sorry. The math is mathing in this case. You can't blame Trae Young when someone's giving up 25 and he's only giving up 8 points in the game. Larry Nance gave up 27. Trae Young, 8. And Larry Nance gave up 7 threes. Hunter gave up 2 of those threes. Dyson gave up a 3. Vic gave up a 3. They all count. Zach gave up 2 threes. Clint gave up 2 threes and layups. Bogey gave up a 3. Bogey only gave up 7 points, mostly because he didn't play that much that night. But we had the lead in regulation and gave it up twice. And then gave up the lead right at the beginning of overtime. And then we're still having the lead. We gave up another 3 in overtime. Right after we got the lead, 126, 125, and then we give up a 3. And then we give up a bucket. The game was, it should never have went to overtime. And that's why I showed y'all the last 8 games of the 2023 season to show y'all this in real time, all the game footage that I showed y'all and all those losses and what actually happened in those losses so you can see it for yourself, because you really need to see it. You need to see what happened against Dallas, Denver, Miami, Minnesota, the Hornets, Pacers, and finally the Chicago play-in game. You need to look at that possession for possession and see what actually happened in the possession so you can see that's how they scored. It's not the blame, it's how they scored. This is what happened, so we need to stop it from happening. Why can't we adjust from this? And again, from last year to this year, player personnel has done a good job of being the reason why some of this has gotten better because of our wing players, Dyson and Zach, out there in combination with a Jalen Johnson. Because this was a bad game for Jalen. Jalen hasn't been having bad games like this all the time. But that Spurs game was a bad defensive game for Jalen Johnson. It was horrible. He gave up 25 points. There ain't no way around that. Sorry. It is what it is. But that's not the norm anymore like it was last year. And I showed y'all that, right? If you watch any of the reviews I did. So again, it ain't about placing blame. It's just about showing that everybody has a little bit to do with something. And some have a little bit to do more than others. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And you should acknowledge that. Because until you acknowledge that, I can't really have discussions with people in real life. You can't just keep saying everything is Trae's fault when it ain't. It just isn't. It just ain't. Trae Young didn't give up those 2 threes at the end of the 4th quarter. He didn't give up all those fast break points. He didn't give up all those points in the paint. He didn't give up 19 threes. He didn't give up no threes. He didn't give up no threes, and we gave up 19 of them. That's weird to keep saying it's Trae's fault at that point. And he had 23 and 16 in the game. If he was giving us AC law numbers, you would have a little bit of a valid point, right? He's giving us John Stockton numbers, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? And we're still leaving assists on the board because people missing shots. We left 23 points on the board in just this game alone, which means we should have won this game by 15, just by default. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? So let's stop doing that. You see what I'm saying? Let's stop that nonsense. And last but not least, again, it's time for us to move into the next stratosphere of Hawks basketball. Let's go get a center that can match up to a Wemby. Not 42 points, but why can't we have a center that can give us 24 a night? Why can't we have a center that can give us 20? Why can't we have a center that can give us a solid 18? Why can't we have a center that gives us 15 a night? Clint is giving us 9. He's gone from 15 points a game to 9 points a game since he's been a Hawk. He's gone from 14 rebounds a game to 9 rebounds a game as a Hawk. It's just time to just move on so we can get to that upper echelon, because I want to see the team win a championship. I don't know about the other Hawks fans out there, but I'm a Hawks fan that I'm getting old. You know, my dad didn't make it to where he could see the Hawks ever win a championship, unfortunately. So I at least want to see the Hawks win a championship in my lifetime. We have 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances, y'all. And this year could be the 3rd if we do the ultimate and complete the moves that were made in this offseason and say, let's go, let's do this. What are we waiting for? Let's get, and again, you don't have to trade Clint. We can use some other bodies or whatever to get that guy and just have Clint primarily come off the bench from now on. He can't start no more. He can't contribute enough to offset what the bigs in the NBA do for us to be able to win on a consistent basis. This was a game we lost by 7 freaking points on the road because we let somebody who scores 24 drop 42 on our head. He hit 7 threes by himself. And Nats give up almost all of them by himself, along with Clint, who gave up 2. Hunter gave up a couple. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? I just want everybody to be able to do whatever their jobs. I always talk about this. I did a show, What's the Point? Go look it up on around the ATL. If you're a point guard, if you're not even a point guard, if you're a good passer, pass the ball. If you're a good shooter, shoot the ball. If you're a shot blocker, block the shot. If you're a rebounder, get all the rebounds. If you know how to set screens, set the screen. If you can do pick and roll and finish at the rim, finish at the rim. Right? 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 Elbow, right? Whatever it is you do it to the ultimate level and then do it all the time. There's an expectation factor. And if you can't do it, then something has to be done. See, that's why I always talk about pickup basketball, because that's the ultimate decider of fate, is that if someone don't think you can do it, they're not going to pick you up, and you might not play the rest of the night. Again, I'm in my old stage now. I'm OG stage now, and there's nights where I don't got it. I'm tweaked something. I'm feeling, oh man, I don't know. I don't know. Feeling kind of janky here. And if they see that on the court, if my team is the one that lost, hey, who lost? Oh, Chris and Joe. So I'm gonna pick you up. I might get ignored because they don't. Man, Chris don't got it tonight. I'm trying to win. It don't look like myself might say, yeah, I gotta pull myself out because I'll take score the rest of the night, guys. Because we use clock, so I'll be the clock operator. I'll stay and hang out with the guys so that way, and then I'll stay sometimes just in case somebody gets hurt and they need a 5th person or whatever. I'll go ahead and play through pain or whatever. I do that sometimes, not all the time anymore like I used to. But when I go play basketball, I'm not out there to exercise. I'm out there to play ball. I'm out there to do my best, and I'm out there to do everything I need to do to make sure my team wins the game. I'm a passer at heart. My goal is to get 7 assists every game, and I'm really good at passing the ball. I'm not saying I'm Magic Johnson or anything, but kind of I am. Right? But I also can shoot, and they know I can shoot. You can't just leave me alone. You see what I'm saying? If you leave me at the top of the key, yeah, I'm probably going to hit this. Especially if I'm mad. If somebody's talking smack, don't do that. because then I'll just start shooting like I was 21 again. All right. But anyway, I just want to see our team do that. I want to see our team meet up with the upper echelons of the other teams in the NBA that also have those type of players. And so we can really match up 5-on-5 each night and not be 4-on-5. Whatever we got to do to make that happen, we need to do it, and we need to not wait for it. It is January 2025 officially now. And we're 5th in the East. We're a couple of games away from being 4th in the Eastern Conference. We were never close to that last year, guys. Y'all know that, right? This is a completely different team. And I talked about all this summer. I predicted all this. Everything that I talked about this summer, you can go watch all my episodes. I predicted everything that's happening right now. I really did. I did a lot of hard work and studying and video review, and I broke everything down. And I said, the Hawks are going to be at least 6 this year, and here is why. Even despite all the injuries at the beginning of the season, which did worry me a little bit, it did. I admit it. But I didn't waver off my prediction because I just knew what was going to happen. And here we are. We are a solid team right now, but we could be better. So whether it be trading Clint away and getting that big that can hit all the shots, or keeping Clint and trading Okongwu or someone else, or a draft pick or something, I don't know, Muhammad Gay, I don't think we're going to be able to use him at this point. He could be a nice little piece that somebody might want to a young team or whatever. Heck, we might be able to get away with keeping Okongwu and Clint. That would be a deep bench. Well, we have Vucevic, Clint, and Okongwu somehow. I know we probably won't be able to keep Okongwu because of contracts and stuff, but you never know. Stuff could be worked out. Right? It's not like he's been averaging, it ain't like Okongwu been averaging 25 and 15 or nothing like that. Right? Just saying, just being real. But we're trying to win a championship. Let us be the deepest team in the NBA because that's what other teams keep doing. Boston Celtics, man, let's go get Porzingis and Drew Holiday. Let's go win us a championship. And that's exactly what they did. Sometimes moves don't work, though. Kings went and got DeRozan. They fired Mike Brown, right? Some stuff don't work, but at least they try to say they're going to get better. Sometimes stuff just don't mix. But right now, what will definitely help us out is a center that can get more than 10 points every game easily because they can hit all their shots and hit free throws. I don't need them to hit 47% from three like Vucevic. I just need you to hit 32% sometime. Just be spot up, 3-point straight up shooter sometime. I just need to know that you can hit this shot. Remember when I showed you that turnaround? Let me show you that turnaround. I don't need this.
Jalen Johnson, 5 seconds on the shot clock, looking for the contact. Capella, 2 seconds. Blocked by Wemby. And a shot clock violation.
No, you just can't casually turn and shoot it right in the face of Victor.
No, man. I'm saying you got to be able to equal that shot out. And to be in the NBA for 10 years and still not have hit a three, you're 0% from three, you're 54% at the free throw line. None of that's positive. Him averaging 9 points a game when he used to average 15 is not positive. He's not affecting the game enough to say that he's that valuable a piece anymore as a starter. You see what I'm saying? He can't play the fourth quarter because he can't do no offense. You're going to trap Trae Young because you're not going to give the ball to him. And if you do, he ain't going to be able to do nothing with it and probably turn the ball over. He has no touch. He has no touch inside. If it's not point blank, you're dunking it. It's a 50-50. He might miss that shot. That ain't cool anymore. It has never been cool, but it definitely ain't cool now. Because we can contend right now. We can. We've shown it. And the other night, I actually broke it down. Look, I'm going to do this real quick. I was supposed to be gone. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to do this for those who are watching. Oh, shoot. Oh, cool. Came right up. Ain't the internet wonderful? Here are Clint Capella's months, game by game, starting in October. 6.6 points, 16, decent, 12, decent. But all those were losses too. Okay. November, 15 points, 8 points, 2 points, 18 points, 7 points, 20 points against Chicago. We lost that game still, though, somehow. Then 18, 10, 8, 14, and 11. He averaged 11 points in November. He averaged 9 points in October. Here's what he did in December. 9 points, 8 points, 4 points, 9 points, 11 points, 6 points, 10 points, 8 points, 4 points, 8 points, 6 points, 11 points. He averaged 7.8 points in December. So he went from 9.2 points to 11.1 points all the way down to 7.8 points. We can be better, is my point. We can be better at that position. There has to be an expectation factor that y'all would want to be better at the center position after not having a center for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. While we're going against Shaq and Dwight Howard and David Robinson and Tim Duncan and Sabonis and the other Sabonis and LaMarcus Aldridge and AD and all these KG and all these all over and over and over and over again, Patrick Ewing, Rick Smits. We got Andrew Lane. He was supposed to hold us down. Got Hindu out there. Trying a little Adam Keefe action. Alex Lynn. I've done whole shows on our roster before. You have to go back and go pull those up, but you know where our draft is. Again, since 1996, Priest Lauderdale, Keith Benson, Eddie Tavares are the only 3 players 7 feet or taller drafted by the Atlanta Hawks since 1996. That's our history. And the only great Hawk center that we've had was Mutombo, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year for the Atlanta Hawks. First team all defense, obviously, right? He was a difference maker, but he could still hit a baseline 12-foot jump shot. It wasn't pretty, but he could hit it all net though, right? Clint can't even do that, and he used to be in Houston, which means he had access to Akeem Olajuwon. Are we kidding? Are we kidding? You see what I'm saying? That would be the first thing I do. Same thing I talked about Rudy Gobert. KG. Call KG up. He's a former Minnesota Timberwolves. What are we talking about? NBA is a brotherhood. Find those veterans and get better. 10 years and you can't hit a jump shot? Can't finish at the rim? I would be embarrassed as a man if I couldn't finish layups right there in the post. I'm the biggest guy out there, getting fouled and everything, but I'm still about to put the ball in the bucket. I can't dunk or anything now, of course. My knee won't let me do that. But I can still lay the ball up, though. First of all, I also use the backboard because Dominique, that's what he says all the time. Use the backboard, use the glass. I can use the glass from any angle. Touch. But I can also hit a turnaround fade. I can hit that shot that Clint tried. I can hit that shot. Now, I wouldn't try that on Wemby, though, because Wemby is like 10 feet tall with his wingspan, right? You got to do a couple moves. You got to back him out. You got to do a little something, right? But I can hit a straight up 3. I can hit a straight up 15-foot jumper. Every now and again, I get in the mode I can drive, but I be so careful about my knee, I don't really drive anymore. But if my shot ain't falling, I'm not going to shoot my team out the game. I'm going to set a whole bunch of screens, though. Nobody gets around my screen. You're going to be open. If I decide to screen somebody, they're getting picked. You better be ready to shoot. Boom. You're on the floor, sir. Sorry. Here, I'll help you out. No, I won't. Right? I'm competitive. I'm trying to win the game. They get back down the court. I'm always getting back down the court. I don't care how old I am. I'm back down the court. I don't care if it's a 3-on-1. I'm stopping this. We don't do that on the Hawks, unfortunately. We gave up 26 fast break points. I showed it to y'all, right? Look, this is what the Spurs did to us in that game that you want to just blame Trae Young in. We gave up 50 points in the paint, 9 second chance points, 26 fast break points, 19 threes on 45% shooting. Larry Nance gave up 7 of those suckers. Trae didn't give up no threes. Wemby shot 13 for 24. That's 54% from the floor. He hit 5 of 7 from 3. My bad. I don't know why I said he hit 7. 5 of 7. See how I corrected myself, by the way? Journalistic integrity. He hit 71% from 3, though. Vassell hit 5 threes. All of his was open. 23 points. And Sohan had 20 points off of 57% shooting from the floor. But Trae had 23 and 16, 3 steals, responsible for 55 points in that game, but it's his fault. Not Zach, who went 4 for 13, not Dyson, who had 4. Bogey only hit 2 threes, 2 of 7 from 3. Gave up a couple of threes. Had 22 turnovers. Trae didn't have 22 turnovers. He had 5 of them. Jalen had 4. Hunter had 3. A whole bunch of people had 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 22 turnovers. That's a whole team turning the ball over. But we didn't even lose the game because of turnovers. We didn't. We had the lead twice in the fourth quarter to prove that. It didn't matter. We overcame all that foolery, but we had the lead 2 times in the fourth quarter. And before that, obviously. And we lost the game anyway. And Trae Young wasn't involved in those possessions. Those possessions, he wasn't even on the floor. And we're just giving up threes, 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 layup, 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 layup. And it's supposed to be just his fault? Come on. Anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. I got people texting me now, my mom and stuff, so I got to get off of here. So, again, I will be back in 2025 doing full reviews. What I'm planning on doing, even though I went on and did this review out of order, I'm going to compile some of the games that I left off, which was the Sacramento. Well, I did the Sacramento King game, but YouTube blocked it. So I'm going to redo that game, and then I'm going to combine the games after the Sacramento game up to the tournament games. And then I'll start from there and try to catch up. I'll see if that works or not. I might skip a couple. We'll see. But what I'm going to try to do is do certain possessions from all of the games and compile them all into one show. And then after that, I'll start doing full reviews again to catch up. There's so much going on. I'm still trying to get a first date for the new radio show on the radio station here in town. The owner asked me for some other stuff, so I sent that to him yesterday. So hopefully today I get a phone call and we get a date to start. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. And as soon as I get all that information, I'll start pumping it out. Hopefully y'all will definitely support the live show. I'll be excited about that. So again, follow on IMTN Worldwide Radio. If you don't mind, share it with some other Hawks fans or Atlanta sports fans. I do a lot of Atlanta sports as well. I've just been concentrating on the Hawks over the last couple of months. Follow on Facebook and Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Radio. You can follow me on Twitter, Intellect ATL. My co-host Jordan 23 ATL. He's taking care of his mom. As I mentioned, his mom has cancer, so he's been fighting that, been doing a great job of that. Also on Twitch, IMTN Worldwide Radio is on Twitch now as well. Be sure, if you're going out tonight, be careful. But if you need a little help, make sure you call Southern Classic Transportation. Hold on. Call Southern Classic Transportation at 404-291-0150. It's a great limo service. They'll get you there safe. They'll stay for you, and they'll take you back home. It's a great service. I know them very well. Just make sure you let them know around the ATL sent you. They're a great service. And last but not least, like I said, if you know anybody who needs photos right now, it's a new year. Don't wait till 2028 this time, okay? Go ahead and book you a photo shoot. I do headshots for businesses. I do headshots for modeling and acting, music, all that kind of good stuff. Maternity pictures. I'll throw that up there real quick and see if I can find it. I just did a maternity shoot not too long ago. There it is. There you go. I haven't uploaded those to my website yet, but they'll go up today. But yeah, if you know anybody who needs pictures, let me know. IMTNWorldwideImages.com is the website. So that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. when the Hawks lose, it's everybody's responsibility. It's not one player's fault. There's some players that are more responsible than others, though, and that's just a fact. In this game alone, I showed you two people who are a little bit more responsible for the loss than anybody else, and especially more than Trae Young. Jalen Johnson gave up 25 points, and Larry Nance Jr. gave up 27 points. Trae Young gave up 8 points while scoring 23 and giving you 16. Larry Nance gave up 7 3-pointers in this game. Trae didn't give up any 3-pointers. So, again, I'm not sure how you blame Trae Young for that particular loss, especially when we should have won the game in regulation. We gave up 2 threes the last minute of the game, and neither of those threes were given up by Trae Young. That has to click at a certain point to stop trying to blame Trae Young just because you hate him and attribute losses to everything that happens on the court. Again, the first thing I always look at, especially if I don't get to see the game in person, points in the paint, second chance point, fast break points, and three-pointers given up, and the percentage. The percentage matters, by the way, right? We can give up 25 threes in the game, but, you know, did you give up 10%? You know, that's you know, did they shoot 50 3-pointers in the game? I think we can maybe overcome that a little bit, right? But if they're just hitting all the threes to their heart's content with no obstruction, yeah, they're probably beating us. They're killing us now, right? We gave up 19 threes on, what is it, 45%? That's almost 50%. The Hawks are at the bottom of the league, guys. We give up 40% or more from threes this year. We give up almost 40-plus threes a game, okay? And again, at a certain point, we were giving up 17 threes every game, which is 3 more than last year. Last year, we gave up 14 threes a game. Last year, guys, and I'm going to leave it this because it's right at the 2-hour mark. Last year, we were 26th in points in the paint given up. No, my bad. 25th in points in the paint given up, 26th in block shots, and 28th in fast break points given up. Now, this year, we are not as bad as we were last year in those categories. And that's one of the reasons why we're above 500 right now and we're competing, because we're better at all those things this year, okay? Because we do contest more shots. We have 2 wing players that definitely contest more shots, right? The block shots show that, right? We do get back on defense better than most of the time. Didn't do it in this game, right? And we don't give up as many points in the paint anymore as we used to. Now, some of that is a result of how many threes we're giving up, but it's still a positive because, again, you got to eliminate one of those. You can't give up the points in the paint and the threes and the fast break points. You got to 2 of 3 of those for us to win games on a regular basis. This game, we didn't do it, and we lost. Plain and simple. You see what I'm saying? Because, again, missed shots aren't defense. That's why I get so mad at these flat-footed contests. Larry Nance, flat-foot contest. Clint, I'm not even really wanting to come over, but I'm going to just kind of glide over there eventually. No, those aren't contests. We're giving up too many threes just because of that, and the NBA knows it. The NBA knows we're not going to rotate. The NBA knows we're not going to fight through no screen. The NBA knows that. So as soon as we tighten that up a little bit more, but at the end of the day, if we could also have the advantage of saying we got somebody who's going to hit all their jump shots. They can hit a jump shot, but that they can hit a jump shot, much less hit all of them, and they can hit a 3 occasionally. All of a sudden, that changes your dynamic on how you can defend our team. You can't trap. You can't trap no more because now you got 4 other people who can hit shots, not just 3 people who can hit shots on the floor besides yourself, the ball handler. You see how that works? Now you can't just focus. You can't do it because now everybody is a danger mark, right? Everybody is a threat. And when you have that, it's beautiful. I just want that once in life. I just want to see it happen. Why am I selfish in that? I just don't get it, guys. Again, I'm just talking as a center myself that can hit a jump shot. And I've always been able to hit a jump shot. And I always will be able to hit a jump shot. I'll be able to hit a jump shot till I'm 75, doggone it. You see what I'm saying? Just saying. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Made me mad watching those film clips with Wemby just hitting all those threes on us. Just for no reason. He just walked up on Hunter and just popped the three. Like that wasn't cool. Was that cool to y'all? That was another three that shouldn't have went in. Let me get out of here, y'all. Y'all take care. Have a good rest of the day. It's the last day of the year, obviously. Again, stay inside if you can help it. Watch that junk on TV. I'm going to watch at my window because I know they're going to be doing a little firecracker stuff back there or whatever across the river. So I'm going to watch it from here in the safety of my home. So y'all just make sure y'all be careful. And I'll see y'all next year. Peace. Oh, I forgot about ending. Oh, by the way, I am going to change the intro. I got to take Kirk Cousins off there now and put Penix in there. So don't worry. I am working on it. I've just been real busy. Y'all take care. Peace. Thank you.